Hi. Well, a little bit of a story coming up here, so hopefully you'll find it interesting. Over the years, we've had a variety of different vehicles that we've utilized in our display and demonstration. And one of the things that we've been working on is a Toyota Tacoma, which came into existence about maybe 2 to 3 years ago. That vehicle itself has gone through a multitude of changes with additional equipment being added to it. But prior to the Toyota Tacoma, we've had a 2016, actually it wasn't 2016, it was 2006, a 2006 Mini Cooper, which we jazzed up and made look pretty interesting. We've also had a Ford Interceptor utility, which happened to be a 2014 model. And that vehicle has subsequently been sold on to a department. But again, we went in and we made that very special. So to a degree, we're doing the same thing with this vehicle, the Toyota Tacoma. Now, the Tacoma is a little different in that the vehicle itself has a Hilux badge on it. And why does it have that? Well, because of our involvement with South Africa and our office in Johannesburg, South Africa, Hiluxes are available in that part of the world. And as a result, we decided to have that badge stuck on the side of the vehicle. And I must tell you, it's actually caused some interesting comments in the street when people have seen it. We also did a lift kit on the vehicle as well. But the story really will begin when Chris came into my office recently and said, Stuart, I want to do some more stuff with the vehicle. And I said, okay, well, you use your magic, take out what you want to do, and let's see how it turns out. And that's what he's been up to. Let's find out what he's been doing.
For double checking all the upgrades that I want to do on the Tacoma, lights and the bumpers, new ones on the front and back, going through, double checking everything, making sure that the products I'm forecasting to use, all the measuring that I've been doing, and the pre-fitting is going to work out so there's no hang-ups at install. The front and rear bumpers, with Stuart's approval, have come in. Really quick and easy trip across town. All I had to do was take the forklift, drive across the river, back to the shop it was. Here's a look at our Tacoma as it sits currently before going in for installation and the planned upgrades. Thanks for joining us here at RC Display Vans, where our Sirennet Toyota Tacoma is starting its build version 2.0. Right now, the truck is in the decommission and planning stages. So the rear bumper, the stock one that is, and front one have been removed, making way for the new Warrior Products heavy-duty bumpers going on. So with the front end here, doing some forecasting for the new lighting that'll be going into fog light pods, a new warning bar stretching across, and some other additions that you'll see as the project goes along. Lighting is going to be spiced up, so some of the products that are existing on the truck now will be staying in place, and some new additions will be making their way to the left, right, back, front, and onto the roof rack as well.
And again, patterns are already all preset, so cool. That's symmetrical and level on both sides. Cool. And if you want to run a sync wire from this one to that one, you're welcome to. Okay.
With preparations being the most important part of the installation process, here is a look at the new lighting that's going to be added around our Sirennet Tacoma. So making sure that everything is here, everything is accounted for, and all of the flash patterns have been preset to make installation that much quicker.
So this is Whelen's new low profile, basically modular strip light.
The front grille, front bumper has all been removed, making way for the new additions. Sirennet SNSP3 speakers were part of the first build, and these are going to be getting replaced with a new set of speakers, a bit louder, and a new cosmetic design into the front bumper. Wiring harness here is going to be taking advantage of for tying into the new lighting additions, so this is going to be reused as well as fresh stranding added for the adjustments to the package.
Centered. So span that right up, yeah. You're going to try to set this so it sits at the front of here. Okay. Yep. We don't want to extend it out and be the bump stop. So yeah.
On the back of the truck, the Warrior Products rear bumper has been bolted on simply for an idea and reference point. It'll be coming back off for mounting of the new lighting and for the wiring adjustments. Inside the cutouts here, we'll take advantage of those for installing Whelen Nanos. In the spacing between the tailgate and the top of the rear bumper, we'll tie in the Whelen Ultra Thin Ion T series and some additional safety lighting to be found toward the edges and in the center. Our upgrades are cruising along very smoothly and a bit faster than anticipated. Rear bumper has been all bolted on and lighting has been fashioned to it. Microns on the side, relocated nanos and adding to the warning system, tying in light heads here in the crevice between the bumper and tailgate and into the center. On the sides of the Tacoma, the Whelen 5-module tracers have been nicely installed, tucked up right and tight against the frame rail, and affixed to the Whelen underbody ground lights from the first build. Warrior Products front bumper has been fashioned onto the front of the Tacoma, and I must say it's turned out a lot better than I had even anticipated in my excited mind here, so I cannot wait for this thing to get further buttoned up. Wiring harness here to tie into our front night cutter, and here have one of the pods that's affixing into the passenger and driver side. These are going to relocate the factory fog lights with amber vertexes, tying into the amber lights on the side of the grille and forward facing lights here from Sirennet brand.
Just the little bit of flex that stuff has, and also too, my thought is with this here, it kind of does help file. It's just.
That does it.
Wow. The truck's back from our friends at RC Display Van. An amazing job they have done with our upgrades. So off-road armored up from Warrior Products with the front and rear bumper. Upgrades up above onto the roof rack to take care of our off-road lighting needs. And for the rest of the truck, upgrades to the lighting system, so fresh amber and red, blue, and white flashing going all the way around. So go ahead, take a look now at the different systems that have been added to this truck all the way around. Our amber lighting package starts with a set of Whelen's SpitFire ions affixed to the front headliner. Nice feature with those is you can tie the flash patterns together for a proper alternating or simultaneous pattern display. So take advantage of the hidden synchronization wire that's contained in the shrouds. For front lighting, Sirennet GL1s take care of our mid-level lighting set to an alternating pattern display, so 2x2. Vertexes surface mounted onto the side of the grille using the nice chrome bezels that go along with them, and we've also taken advantage of the Vertexes in a hideaway installation in the OEM fog lights. Nice and effective, the flash patterns have been tied into an X pattern. So to achieve that, we have taken the lights, set them all to the same pattern, used phase 1 and phase 2. So here, phase 1 down below in the fog light, phase 2 on the other side, and phase 2 for the pattern setting down on the driver's side fog light. So once the phase 1 setting, phase 2 setting are tied together with the synchronization wires, this is a pattern and effect that you can achieve with the same lights on your vehicle. Amber side lighting consists of Whelen ions, part number IONA. They've been affixed onto the body pinch points and are at a perfect level for that critical side lighting on your vehicle. When it comes to these, you can affix them onto your truck or SUV, onto the running boards, onto the pinch points, or making brackets of your own so that you have proper spacing. With the Tacoma here, bigger tires, the suspension lift puts them right up at a more effective level. So don't forget, when it comes to your vehicles and 4x4s and modifications, the more midship and higher the side lighting is, the more effective it's going to be. In the rear window, we've used a set of our SNGL2 light heads, set to an alternating flash pattern for a 3x3 effect and sync wires tied together, so that way they are nice and uniformed in appearance. The flashing will never get off par. Carrying over to the rear, we have taken advantage of Whelen's Ion T series, so that ultra thin light head, and installed it right here in the crevice between the rear bumper and the bottom of the tailgate. We'll go over that in a bit more details in a moment. In the center of the bumper, for a nice 180-degree spread, so seen to the back, and rounding out to the sides, so seeing this no matter where you are on the rear of the truck, Code 3's M180 light head. Mounting light heads in the stealthy position between the rear bumper and the bottom of the tailgate has previously come across issues when it comes to the depth of the light head. Well, with Whelen Ion's T-Series, the ultra-thin solution allows for nice, bright, and unobstructed mounting. So when it comes to utilizing the pickup truck, dropping the tailgate down, you have absolutely no protrusion of the lens. So a nice, clean, tight mount you have. With the amber safety system taken care of, we'll go ahead and transition into the traffic clearing effectiveness of red and blue. On the front headliner, Whelen's XLP Duo Inner Edge has been installed, and this is not made specifically for the Toyota Tacoma, so some fabrication had to be done when it came to the bracketry and getting that to affix in as cleanly as it is. On the sides of our Warrior Products front bumper, Whelen Ion T-Series, so again, that ultra-thin light head having no obstruction when it comes to protrusion off the bumper, but all the effectiveness of full potency in red and in blue, with this being the Duo version. Taking care of midship lighting in the front grille, Ion tricolor light heads have been used. Set to a alternating display of red and blue, they can also introduce white flashing or white for an override and illumination. For an even more effective lighting output on the front of the Tacoma, go ahead, put the system to position 3. With that change in the controller, red, blue, and white now flashing away, and in the center of the front bumper, red and blue has been activated in the in flashers on our Sirennet Night Patrol light bar. For front illumination, you have the ability to double up your ions for white activation and activating takedown mode in the front interior bar. We've taken care of side lighting using red, blue, white effectiveness found in the Whelen Solo 5-module tracer. So as you can see, going from front to back, fitting in between the ions, absolutely wonderful way to light up the side of the truck. For a bit more fun with the Whelen tracers, we've taken advantage of cruise. Our rear emergency lighting starts with Whelen Vertexes installed in the taillight housings. Down below, Whelen Microns surface mounted onto our Warrior Products rear bumper. Like we did with the front to create a very effective X flash pattern, same patterns between the Microns and the Vertexes, and with them having the ability to synchronize phase 1, phase 2 tied together for the nice effect that you see here. Down below, onto the tow package, we have brought back the multicolor Whelen Ions. One side flashing away in red-blue, the other flashing away in all 3 colors, just to give you a bit of a display between how they can be set. Again, that's all to your preference. And again, to tie them together, synchronization wires tied in. The roof rack, my favorite part of the Tacoma project. It's been put together using a Serco roof rack, and for the crossbars, they are put together by Rhino Rack, and they're made specifically for this Tacoma. So we've joined these 2 different pieces together to get a roof rack that can be completely removed from the Tacoma. And if you're thinking, well, how do you remove that when you have all of the lighting on there? We've taken advantage of Code 3's harness quick disconnect on the back. So that punches through the roof, allowing the lighting up here to have a quick disconnect point. So on the front of the rack from our friends at Whelen Engineering, we have taken advantage of the Continuum, and it happens to be the 4-module introducing spot and flood lighting. On the sides, driver and passenger, Sirennet brand illumination found through our night cutters. These are the 34-inch. For rear lighting, the Night Kutter 24-inch. So this is perfect for rear scene lighting, off-road lighting, or for the ultimate rear pickup truck bed lighting and seeing all your gear that's back there. With this rack, everything is bolted on and very user-friendly. Quick disconnects that are all weather resistant have also been added by RC display vans. So for us here at the Sirennet office, when we want to make adjustments to the future, it couldn't be simpler. Unbolt, disconnect, new light, bolted on, reconnect, and there you have it. Our 24-inch Sirennet Night Patrol LED light bar offers you 2 functions in one. Warning through the ends, which we've seen flashing away in the vibrant red and blue, and the center section dedicated to white vibrant illumination. So for those of you tying in vehicles for law enforcement, search and rescue, fire and rescue services, whether it's an OEM bumper, behind the grill, down in the bumper, in an off-road bumper such as Warrior Products, or on a conventional push bumper, this is going to bolt on absolutely perfect, be very nice and stout, and 2 functions in 1. We have 2 different settings when it comes to rear-mounted white lighting. The first utilizes a pair of Whelen Engineering Nano 3s, part number NP3BB. These little guys happen to be one of my favorites when it comes to a super compact solution over 1,000 lumens for lighting up the world around you. Nice thing about these little nanos, the ability to change the lens between flood and spot depending on how you want to utilize them. For the rear Mode 2 white lighting, we're taking in the white steady burn from the tricolor ions down below and the takedown illumination mode from the Code 3 M180 Lighthead. With each of these having its own dedicated trigger wire for the white function, harnesses have been tied together and run up to an on-off button on the CenCom controller. When it comes to the white modes on the rear of the truck, I'll admit it is a bit to take in between the nanos, the white of the ions, and the M180. But with it being a demonstrator vehicle, it's giving you, the end user, the best option to consider when it comes to your application. So again, for maximizing potency, a product like the Whelen Nanos, or for something a bit easier when it comes to rear work lighting, backup lighting enhancement, or for trucks that are towing a lot of trailers, so really lighting things up to keep it safe, the M180 and the illumination there, or the additional function with the ions could be a perfect solution. We've come inside to show how we've added Whelen's 3-inch red-white LED underbody lights for further dressing up the Tacoma, offering white and red illumination. Tied in with the white of the Whelen 3-inch underbody lighting is the Puddle function to round out Code 3's M180 Lighthead. Controlling the Tacoma is taken care of through Whelen Engineering CC-SRN36 Sapphire. Progressive switch for tying in the lighting controls, push buttons on the top for the amber safety system and various scene lights. Rotary knob in the center ties into a pair of Siren speakers, our SN SP1s, that are affixed in the Warrior Products front bumper. Momentary buttons for siren tones, and tone 1, tone 2, tone 3 for continuous tones. Well, there we are, our Sirennet demonstrator 4x4, outfitted with a wonderful amber package, red and blue emergency lighting package, and scene lighting options galore. Our friends at RC Display Van, again, a big thank you to them for doing an amazing job putting all my plans and preparations into what we see here.
Well, the vehicle turned out pretty interesting, I must tell you. We're all pretty impressed here at the office, and Chris, of course, did an amazing job in putting that vehicle together. Of course, a shout out to the gang over at RC Display Vans with respect to assisting us in that program. And also a shout out to people who don't always get a shout out to, is to Wade and to Derek on the photography and filming side of things, as well as to Kevin and Adam in video production as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it.